Good evening, good evening. I can't believe we've actually got a live show with a maker guest.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get the formalities out of the way. Is that okay?
Yeah. So welcome to At Home with the Fishers, starring Nicola and Chris Fisher, RPT.
That's me.
With the Mad Maker, and this is episode 25.
Hello!
So, Christopher, thank you so much for joining us.
It's honestly a pleasure.
Have you here. It's been a while since we last spoke to you when we were at Maker Central and you were on the Gorilla Glue stand and
stuck, you might say.
And we were chatting to you there, so it's really great to have you on. So you've been telling us a few bits about what you've been doing, so I'm really intrigued to hear a bit more about you having started turning. So we'll get to that and find out what you're doing with your turning. But yeah, great to have you on the show. So let's just say hello to everybody in the chat. So we've got T+G Making.
Evening, guys.
Maple Tree Studios, who might not chat much because he's munching through the takeaway.
Oh, very good.
Steve Twidell was heading into his workshop.
Hi, Steve.
Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft.
Hi, Wayne.
Leona Faye.
Hello.
I should probably look at the chat as well.
I think that. Oh, Steve's back.
Oh, hello. Must have missed us.
Yeah. Cy Smith. Hi, Cy.
Hi, Cy.
Brett Cunningham.
Evening.
So I think that's everybody. So thanks everybody for watching tonight.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
I know.
But we've come back with a great maker, Chris. Yeah, we know him. Oh yeah, and thanks for the tweet this morning, Chris. It was it popped up on my phone that you'd mentioned us and you were coming on tonight. So I said to Nicola, "Oh, he's tweeted." He said, "I know." So I was actually in the workshop turning at that time. So, but I did notice that you'd signed in really. So
yeah, and I stole the picture because he'd used a picture of you and him at Maker Central.
Oh right, yeah.
And I didn't take that many pictures at Maker Central because I ended up sort of busy with other things and looking at Bamba. So I was looking to see if I got any pictures and I hadn't. So unfortunately, I stole yours.
Plagiarism, gotta love it.
Yeah,
it's all good. I made sure I took photos of all the important people at the show. I'm sorry, I missed you as well, Nicola. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Right. So let's start with our first question. Tell us, why do you make?
I think we all make because it's something innate in us. We've like everyone's a maker, no matter what they say, whether they're on YouTube or Instagram or any other platform, or they're just tinkering around. I think everyone is a little bit of a maker. I think we've always been that way since we evolved. Me, I probably got inspired by my uncle when I was a small child. He was really into his electronics and amateur radio, always making bits and pieces. And I was always pulling apart bits and pieces and destroying stuff and figuring out how things tick. And on that side of things, I learned a lot and sort of grew up, did a bit of engineering, and found myself sort of mid-30s thinking, stuck at a desk job, which I love, but it's a desk job. I'm not using my hands. And thinking, I really am missing something. And I started playing around with woodworking. And that's what it was. Just being able to touch and, mold something into something awesome. And if the frustrating thing is, my dad, he's been a carpenter for about 35 years. Well, he's retired now, but he was a carpenter for 35 years. I learned nothing from him growing up, as children do.
Yeah.
Did not listen to him. He's still alive. I still ring him up all the time for advice, which is quite nice now.
I think that's cool that he's there now. Now that you need him, he's still there.
Yeah, and I think he's loving it.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, really, it's a beautiful, lovely, amazing thing that you weren't interested as a kid, but like you say, you were a kid.
Yeah.
You had other things to do, like build dens and go pow pow at your mates and all that stuff.
And then Discovery Girls, and that just like
Yeah, but I think that's really cool that you can
Yeah.
you can ring your dad up even now and say, Dad, how do I do that?
I bet he loves it as well.
Mhm.
it does. It really does, especially if I'm stuck on something. Now, don't get me wrong, you've got the entire maker community, and there's so many people who will give you advice and help, and everyone's just awesome. But yeah, I always sort of revert back to my dad. It's just sometimes also an excuse to ring him up as well.
Yeah.
Does he live near you, Chris, or?
No, not too near. Probably about an hour's drive.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. So yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's nice when it's your dad and you can, chat to him about things that you need. I know that you've got all the maker community, but it's a bit different when you can go to your dad as
Yeah.
well. I think that's really nice.
yeah, because it is your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what sort of things did you start making then? You said you were sort of doing stuff with wood. What did you start with?
Just essentials, really. Just the real essentials around the house. Putting up a shelf, building a little step for the cat to get in the cat flap where it wasn't quite high enough. Little things like that. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, me and a group of sort of like-minded people, mostly electronics people, coders. Have you ever heard of the concept of a hackerspace or makerspace?
Yeah.
We basically said to ourselves, hang on a minute, our closest one is Bristol, and then Brighton, and that's not on. There's not one in this area, so we pulled our resources and we founded a makerspace, somewhere where we could physically get all this stuff done. I mean, it was a little unit we started off with. It's quite big now, just filled with tools. For people that can't necessarily afford a big tool or don't have the space for a big tool, but there are members there who've got every tool and every expensive tool you could imagine, but they don't want to be sitting there at home or in the workshop on their own. They want to be actually working side by side or showing off their latest project. So I think for a large chunk of time, probably about 5 years or so, I was so heavily invested in that, I didn't actually get a chance to make much.
Yeah.
And it was more helping people make stuff, which was satisfying in itself.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit like Men in Sheds. That kind of. Is it like
A little bit. I mean, it predates the movement, but at the same time, it kind of go hand in hand. And one of the things I did, because we got this workshop with people sort of my age, university students, occasional 40-year-old, 50-year-old, all using this workshop during the weekends and evenings, and during the day, empty, because we all got jobs or at university. And I thought, that is such a big waste of space. So we founded a men's shed group, and now there's one in Southampton in that unit, and it works really well.
That's really good.
And I really wish that could happen more around the country as well, and vice versa. There's a lot of men's sheds groups that have got this fantastic workshop that closes at 5 and everyone goes home and does their thing, and it's empty and doing nothing. And there's people going, oh, if only I had somewhere to go and tinker around with stuff with my friends.
Yeah.
I'm sure the two groups could work together better.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So are you still involved with that?
Sadly, I moved from the area a little while ago, so no longer involved as involved. I'm no longer a trustee. Just I can get down there when I can. But it's kind of a good thing, because it gave me a bit of a kick up the bottom to sort of do my own thing. And that was probably 2.5, 3 years ago, maybe. Yeah, about 2 years ago. And I've always sort of said to myself, I'd like to build one of those, like to do that. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I never really got the choice or the chance to actually do it, because I was always helping someone else or working on a group project. And don't get me wrong, did some amazing group projects, like building a Dalek, for example. But maybe we'll come back to that. Now, of course, I first thing that we did when we moved is said, look, I've got to have a space to call my own, like a maker space of some kind. And I did exactly that, sorted out a small workshop, and been extremely happy since.
That's great. That's great. So you said that you'd started turning. So What got you started on turning?
It was definitely a lathe was another tool. It was just a means to an end. I had an uncle who said, I think he may have had a bit of an accident with it because there was a big dent and he seemed genuinely afraid of it, which is fair enough. And he said, "Do you want this lathe?" I was like, "Yeah, I could build some like doll's house furniture because I'm working on a doll's house for my daughter. I could work on some of the mechanical projects that need maybe turned bits and pieces." And I thought, "Yeah, that's a really nice idea. I'll get this lathe." And that's where I did a whole Alice in Wonderland thing and just fell down the rabbit hole, as you do, and discovered, oh, this is actually a really enjoyable hobby. Just I work as a project manager during the day. It's a stressful job. I'm stuck at a desk. Get home, put some wood on the lathe, and just you don't turn your brain off, as you know, but your brain's in a different place.
Yeah,
Just so cathartic, just working on the wood.
Definitely.
And it's turned from a little, just a tool to do a job, to now, what can I get next? What can I do next on my lathe?
Yeah,
I did downgrade. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, it's very addictive, and then as your skills develop and your passion, like you say, you just further and further down that rabbit hole, and you're always thinking of the next thing you can do on your lathe. But lathes are great machines. I think they used to say, lathes are one of the few machines that are capable. But they're sort of like machinist lathes. It was your machine capable of building itself.
Self-replicate.
But now you've got 3D printers. But lathes are incredible, and it certainly changed my life. That's for sure. And it sounds like you've got this another string to your bow now.
Yeah, and not doing too badly with it either. And about a year ago, you actually, of all people, inspired me to go for this little lathe here, which is the Axminster Precision Pro, the little pen turning lathe.
Yeah.
It was based off of your review. I went, yeah, that's the machine for me, because I don't like doing the big projects really. I like doing the little things and pens and doll's house furniture. This, other than the lack of the chuck, which is a bit of a problem, it's the perfect lathe for me.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, if you're doing things like doll's house stuff,
Yeah.
I saw some people at the Chestnut Woodturner Weekender, and they were making, these really teeny-weeny lamps and stuff for doll's houses, and they were using very small lathes to do that. So I thought something small was the right way to go. But that must be so intricate, doing things, tiny stuff. You don't really hear of it a lot.
No, it doesn't look as grand or as exciting for a YouTube video, maybe, to do a little thing, but it's probably what I enjoy the most, is doing something, especially the pens recently, in the last year or so. Absolutely loving doing those. Plus, of course, it's something that when you know someone's using it, it adds that extra bit of satisfaction.
Yeah.
I wouldn't demean a piece of artwork that sits on a shelf, or a bowl that sits there and never actually being used as a bowl. But with a pen, someone's using that at the end of the day.
Yeah, and there's something very tactile as well about turn stuff. I know, even bowls that are just sitting there, I'll often pick things up and just touch it because it feels so nice, and something very tactile about them. So going on from your maker space that you were involved in, and obviously we met you at Maker Central, what has the maker community given you?
Everything. They say, I mean, obviously I'm a little YouTuber, but they say the biggest challenge for a small YouTuber is to get the first 100 subs. And that wasn't a challenge at all, because I was involved in the community a little bit and I hit the ground running and more or less got those straight away. It was just great. So many people automatically just supported me. But at every stage of the way, there's just always been someone offering the right advice or the right kick in the right direction, or even sending you stuff. I I do have a few names written down because I have to give a few shout outs to a few people. Andy Pugh, as you know, I think he's been on your show.
He's not been on yet, but we met him at Sittingbourne.
You have met him before, yeah.
The weekend before. Yeah,
Top
we met Andy.
Pretty much, I've been umming and ahhing for months about starting a YouTube channel, saying, should I do it? A friend of mine, he's got a YouTube channel. He's gone full-time YouTuber now, which is fantastic.
Wow.
And it's a pipe dream, but it's a dream still. And Andy just said, just stop messing around. And he really kicked my bottom and just said, just do it. It doesn't matter if it's rubbish, just do it. And I did. And haven't looked back, loving it now.
Yeah. I think it's that getting started and just getting that ball rolling. And I think, I do watch some of the YouTube maker stuff. Chris listens to them probably more than I do. My interests are slightly different to Chris's. But when you find somebody that you like, you just really want everything that they're coming up with, because they just resonate with you, or you like the type of projects they do, or you're into the same things, and there's always an audience out there. So do you want to name drop anybody else?
Yeah, there's a couple of other people. Sorry, Vicky,
no, it's
fine. The carpenter's daughter. You may know her. She was at Maker Central, so you may have met her there as well. Absolutely brilliant lass. She's been sort of, again, kicking me in the right direction of trying to get some blogging done. Pointing out that because she's actually a food blogger initially, and has now gone into the DIY side of things, and pointed out that in the food industry, makeup industry, and kids, and all those areas, influencers, YouTubers, they get actually paid a lot more money. They get a lot more support than makers. There's a massive imbalance for some reason. I don't know if it's because the maker movement is still taking off, or some of the tool manufacturers are still learning about how to use us. I don't know. But yeah, there's this big imbalance. But at the same time, there's so many opportunities for someone with a simple blog.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work on that a little bit, and also branching out a little bit into the parenting blog side of things.
Yeah.
She's been amazing for her, support and help on that. Jamie Page, because it not even met me. I think we'd only been chatting online for 5 minutes. Had an issue with my scroll saw. Didn't even oh yeah, you need some of these. Brought them along to Maker Central. There you go. I mean,
this stuff when it comes to scroll saws.
Well, Jamie did the picture Bamba up there. And he came to Sittingbourne with Arthur Chukinski, Dave G came, Andy Pugh, Maple Tree, and it's just having people who are prepared to come and do that. And we didn't know. I think I knew Dave G was coming, but I'd not told you. It was a surprise. But we didn't know Jamie and everybody else were coming, and it's just that support that they give you as well. And we say it all the time. We probably say it on every podcast, but it's an amazing community.
I've never met a nicer community of people willing to support you. I genuinely am racked with guilt that I'm not doing enough for the community as well.
You sound like all right. You've got that makerspace up and running.
That itself.
Don't beat yourself up. I think you've.
That was volunteer work. It did, encouraged a ton of making. There's probably a lot of younger makers now doing stuff because we set that up. So that is nice. But at the same time, I haven't done anything too recently. I sold out a little bit, and I was on the Gorilla Glue stand this time at Maker Central. Great to work with, really good fun. But the year before that, the previous one?
Yeah.
I was on the Makerspace stand and just spent the whole time just inspiring young people, showing people a banana keyboard, for example. A keyboard that had been made up of bananas. So you touch one banana, it'll play a musical note. You touch another banana. It's such a simple thing when you look at it, and the electronics involved, really easy.
Yeah.
But when you someone, especially a small child, gets on there, has a play and thinks this is amazing, you can see something like, a spark go off.
Yeah.
That sounds really lame, but you can.
Oh, JP's just come on. We've just been talking about you, Jamie.
Were your ears burning, Jamie? But but no, I was saying, Jamie, and so many others out there, it's never too much trouble to offer advice, and sort of like, if people can read between the lines here, Jamie, it's good advice. And when people that know their shit tell you something, action, what they've told you. So you know what I'm saying, don't you? Between the lines. If you've got someone out there that knows this stuff and they gives you advice, run with it, and it'll make your life a whole lot better. Are you listening, Jamie?
Yeah, he says, don't believe it, it's all lies.
Well, being nice about you, Jamie, to be fair. So yeah, probably all lies. It's funny you should mention Dave Gunner back there as well, who came to your thing. He's another person. When I started turning pens, I said, I'm thinking about turning pens. What bits and pieces do I need? Didn't even think twice. Dave sent me a load of micro mesh saying, you need some of this, mate. Go, so sent me some over, sent me some nice blanks as well, which is fantastic. Paul Wilmore, have you met him? Used to be Paul Wilmore's World of Wood, but he's changed his channel name to Crate to Make now. Worth checking out if you haven't. Really nice guy. Without even thinking, he was like, yeah, I'll send you my old pen mandrel. Looked at it and thought, no, I can't send him that, and just ordered a new pen mandrel online at Axminster and just got it sent to me without even what's your address, Chris? And then sent it straight on. John Clovier, amazing chap, as you know. Pam Harris as well, both sent me blanks and bushings to sort of help get me started. I get a great feeling and a sense of happiness when I've paid something forward. I've had students in the workshop here, and they've like Sandra, who's a sergeant, she's a police officer in Greater Manchester Police. She was here doing a wood turning course, and she wanted to get into pens. So my old pen mandrel that I had, I gave it to her, and some bushings and some blanks. I've done that a few times. And when you sort of start amassing a collection of tools and gouges, and you start thinking, well, I've got 3 of those now, you think, right, well, there you go. I've got a couple left. It's all right. So I get a huge buzz out of paying it forward. Yeah, same. I sort of when I got bits from them, I did vow to myself that I need to be paying this order. New Turner comes along. I was thinking about doing it with there's a Caitlin. Yeah. I was like, oh, brilliant! She's getting into woodturning. I'll give her some. Didn't even get a chance. The community just dived in there and just bombarded her with help, and I was like, oh, okay then. Which is that's not a complaint. That is amazing. Although I did manage to give my old scroll saw away recently to I think some family members of KK Makes. All right, Carol. Yeah. So I have paid it forward a little bit. There's more to do. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to pay something forward, a lot more than I do. But when the opportunity is there, and I've got something spare and I can give it away, I'm more than happy to do it. More than happy.
Dave G's come on. Maple Tree said, "Ears burning, Dave."
Yeah, I keep talking about people and they keep appearing. What's that about?
Sorry.
I keep talking about people and then they just pop up. Yeah. It's like
who else should we talk about?
Anybody.
So is there anybody else you'd like to give a shout out to?
There's so many people that have just been awesome in the last few years, but they were like the main people I specifically said I'm going to write these people down because they've just been amazing. I apologize to anyone I may have forgotten because everyone's been great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we found that, I mean, over the time that I've known you, you know, we've had things that people have sent us as well.
Oh,
and,
gosh, it's amazing.
you know, the generosity of people, it's just extraordinary. You know, and I think probably nearly everybody we actually know, there's been something that has come from everybody in one way or another. And yeah, it is
a wonderful thing to receive something from a friend, and it just brightens your day up, and you feel, you know, not humbled, but you feel so happy, and you're very appreciative, and like I say, that's it's just the community, and what you couldn't wish for a better group of friends, and you know, you can ask them for anything. And they'll always do.
That's the other thing. You don't even need to ask. That there are people like
yeah. So what sort of things do you love to make? You know, when you come home from work and you're going in your workshop, what do you want to do then?
Everything. Just I like to do everything, but never the same thing twice. I'm like a little bit like I think I was telling you before we went live, I'm like a bit of a dog chasing cars, always looking at learning a new skill, buying a new tool. I think actually most of us are like this, aren't we? Always like 20 projects at least on the go at the same time. So yeah, pretty much everything. The lathe, like I said, started as a means to an end, but it's now become a hobby in itself. I love the pen turning. But I think probably the projects that really make me, you know, really excited is when I can take something that's been done before a million times, you know, some woodwork, and put a modern spin on it. And I haven't done this enough yet. I've got like lists and lists of ideas and crazy things to do. But yeah, taking a traditional item, I mean, just as an example, for genuinely no good reason, I've been trying to make a wooden mallet recently. Been done a million times before, but I'm going to stick some electronics inside it with a little counter and make it into a whack counter. Maybe even display wax per minute. I mean, it's silly. There's no practical use.
Is it going to make a silly noise, Chris?
It might make a squeaky noise if I can get over.
As soon as you said that, I'm there in my head going.
Yep, I was thinking sort of Timmy Mallet, squeaky sort of.
Yeah. And because you used to get these little sort of like plastic hammers as kids, and you hit them, and they go. Sort of like they'd make a squeaky noise, wouldn't they? Yeah. Epic. Yeah, do it.
I plan to. It's stuff like that I really enjoy. And I do need to talk about the Dalek, but
I just need to ask you about what JP and Dave G are talking about. Now, I don't know which is the correct one, the poo roll speaker or the poo tooth speaker.
I don't know. I was going to go with brown tooth speaker.
Right.
This is a family-friendly show, right? So
yeah, it is.
Obviously, it was a very tongue-in-cheek, probably shouldn't say that, video I did as a little giveaway to just celebrate 500 subs. Got a Rockler Bluetooth speaker, really good bit of kit actually. I thought, yeah, I'll put this in something and give it away, and it fit in a bog roll just perfectly, like it had been designed for that. So I thought I can't do anything but this now. Yeah.
I personally, I think poo tooth is just brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's silly. I pretty much, this humor exists at this point only to entertain myself, but I don't care. There's a few people out there who find it funny as well, so it's all good.
I'm sure there's loads of people. I think people like something that's got a sense of humour and something that
people need whimsy in the life.
Yeah, I love whimsy.
And for me, for me to be sat on the toilet and to pull a couple of sheets of paper off, and then it plays some Metallica or something. That'd be brilliant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's I like to think I don't have the talents. Talents grow. I don't have them yet. I'm not bitter about that. But at least I can do a little bit of showmanship and have a little fun.
Yeah. Well, I got the impression when we met you at Maker Central that there's something a bit sort of wacky and sort of whimsy about you.
Oh. Don't know how to take that.
Hey, that's a compliment.
Yeah. Well, he is the mad maker.
Well, exactly.
Yes, and the same day, I don't know what it was. It was Providence of Great Minds Think Alike. Jamie Page did the exact same speaker kit, but he made a really nice, classy Banksia pod. He's saying in the chat now, and it was lovely. There's me with bog roll.
Now, you see, that would be quite a good thing to do as well, wouldn't it? To say, right, we're going to get these, whatever, Bluetooth speaker or something, and 2 or 3 of you have to then go away and do a project with it. That would be quite interesting. Yeah.
It's like Ready, Steady, Cook.
Yeah.
You empty your bag of ingredients.
Ready, steady, make.
You got your bag of ingredients, and you say, right, you've got 2 weeks, because obviously you can't do it in like 15 minutes of the show. You've got 2 weeks for you to come up with an idea, and someone else on YouTube or in the maker community gets the same bag of components, ingredients, if you will, and everyone says, right, we've got 2 weeks. You've got 3 or 4 people there, and let's see what you come up with.
Yeah.
And you are not allowed to confer, and it's got to be secret and top secret. And then, right, you've got 2 weeks. You've got all 4 of you got the same bag of components.
That would be quite cool.
Ready, steady, make.
Yeah.
Dave G actually tried, and I don't know how far he's got, whether he intends to do loads more. He kind of started that off with the old wheel of making. He picked a maker out of the list. He picked a material that they'd have to work with, and then a thing that they'd had to make. And that was a little fun. I don't know if he's planning to continue doing that.
He says like you're talking about Makers Showdown.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a great thing, Dave.
Yeah.
So tell us something that the maker community doesn't know about you.
Something relevant to making, though, I assume, and interesting.
Anything.
Well,
anything.
Well, I kind of really been itching to tell you a little bit about this Dalek, because it sort of feeds onto the thing at the top of my projects list as well.
Yeah.
During the first couple of years of the Makerspace, I just wanted to build a Dalek. There's no rhyme or reason. It was just a case of, guys, can we build a Dalek, please? And everyone was like, okay. So we did. There's a really good online community for building stuff like that. There's like a massive R2D2 building community, a massive Dalek building community, even a TARDIS building community. So there's already loads of people around the world as well. This is the crazy thing, who've built them, got plans for them, can tell you about where to source all the bits and pieces. So it was so easy from a design point of view. Although we were all fairly poor, and it was kind of like, you remember Greece, where they steal all the bits and build the car?
No.
Fair enough. It was a case of
Sorry, Chris, I've never watched Grease. I've caught bits of it, and I've sort of like heard bits of it. Shock horror, I would rather put hot pins under my fingernails.
Fair enough.
Scene.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're on about.
That's fair enough. It was kind of like that. We just built it out of whatever we could find. We used a barbecue lid as the dome on the head. We 3D printed a lot of the hemispheres, the bumps that you see. We raided the IKEA scrap bins with their permission, of course. They don't still scrap IKEA. We raided their scrap bins for chipboard, and a lot of the wood was just ex-IKEA chipboard, and amazingly, I think because it's a makerspace, you've got people who know about everything there. We managed to build this thing and make it this big remote control Dalek that we just spent quite a few years having a huge amount of fun with. Just walking around doing the voice.
Yeah.
Great opportunity as well. We made a little bit of money for charity, promoted the space, of course, as well. Genuinely, it's an excuse to go around and be a bit of an ass.
Yeah.
Basically, because people, if you're nice as a Dalek, people get confused. They kind of want you to play the role, so hands are tied. It was just great fun.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So you said that you were going to talk about the Dalek, and then there was something else. Are you going to tell us that?
I can't think of anything that I can reveal at the moment, at this time, that I can tell people about. But there is stuff that is coming up that's really awesome soon.
Oh.
We'll see how it goes.
I noticed looking at your website, you've done an IKEA pen out of bits and bobs that you'd stolen from there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
IKEA pen.
Yeah.
No.
Right. I thought that was really cool.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Workshop's hot. Yes, they put all their parts and bits and pieces out on display for people to take. So I just was looking for some bits for the bed, and some dowels looked. Yeah, I can make that into a pen. And yeah, I sort of, it was in a bit of a pen making craze where you just like looking around at everything and everything's a pen. The wife starts talking to you and saying, "Oh God, you're just constantly obsessed with pens," and all you can see is a talking pen, like in the cartoon. It was just. And I don't know how and when I'm going to get around to them all, but I've got this long list of crazy things to make into a pen now.
Well, that sounds cool. And I think Dave G, you've just done something I saw on Instagram. I can't remember what they were called. They kind of look like potatoes chopped up. They're not potatoes chopped up, but I can't remember what they're called.
Some kind of nuts. I saw that.
Yeah, but they look really cool.
Yeah.
That looked really nice. So yeah, Dave says repatriated.
Yeah.
Chris, don't sit on the fence. Tell us what you really think. That was about Greece.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get political, but I'm very tempted to
myself to say that.
I was very tempted to bring the Dalek along to a Britain First rally. Just maybe even have a little Britain First badge on it, just control them, but it might have got destroyed or burnt.
Yeah.
Dave says, tag your nuts, aka vegetable ivory. Oh, they look really cool. JP says, when are you working with James Bruton next?
We do actually have, I can tell you about that. We have a collaboration in the works. I just don't get to see James anywhere near as much these days. He lives in Winchester, and he doesn't make it down to the makerspace much, and I don't make it down to the makerspace much. So, but we do have something in the pipeline, something awesome. Can't tell you too much about it, but it involves bits of me and robotics.
Oh,
that sounds
3D printing.
There you go, Jamie. You know as much as
genuinely awesome.
Has anybody got any more questions for Chris? Just pop them in the chat. So is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything else you'd like to share with us?
I can't believe I did this, actually. I didn't mention James on the shout outs. Probably should have done, because he's been quite instrumental. He's a full-time YouTuber now, and when I met him, he had like 1,000 subs or something like that. I was just selling bits and pieces on retail, sort of getting into YouTube, and then slowly realizing hang on a minute, I'm making more money on this YouTube lark than I am selling these bits and pieces. Yeah, and he's been just quite motivational to say, do you know what, if he can do it, anyone can. Yeah. And at the same time, a couple of years ago, talk about generosity, he's sponsored by Lolsbot, who make quite nice printers. He gave me that little machine.
That's 3D printer.
Yeah, and we're not talking about one of those cheapy Chinese jobbies that everyone's getting at the moment. That's a really good printer. But he, obviously he gets them. I can't divulge too much about the financials, but he gets them at a reduced rate or free, and has got like 13 or so of them in his bedroom currently. So can afford to lose one. But yeah, he's been fantastic for getting me kickstarted.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great.
I didn't mention it.
So, the doorbell might ring at some point. But
oh, right. I might have to we are expecting.
I don't know whether that's what I've heard, but so is there anything else you'd like to add?
Oh, yeah, moving on from the Dalek, as I said, it's top of the list now for projects that I want to build, because it still exists. It's at the Makerspace, and it's a group project now. It's a Makerspaces thing, and it's all the way over there, and I kind of want my own. You know what it's like? Same with tools and bits and pieces. You can share tools, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
And I've got a little space in the workshop already, and I'm literally scouring Facebook and keeping an eye out for an electric wheelchair or even a mobility scooter at the moment.
Oh, right.
They make amazing, because it'll be remote controlled. There's no way I could put in the one I wanted to build. It'd just be too small, unless I lose a lot of weight. So yeah, keeping my eye out for that. And there's, you'd be amazed actually. There's literally like 1,000 or so Daleks around the world that are registered. That I say registered. That sounds really odd. That people have said, yeah, I've got a Dalek. Here it is, and here I am on the map.
It's incredible, isn't it?
There are so many of them out there, and they're amazing. But kind of want to do something a bit different. I'm not sure what. Maybe a completely wooden Dalek.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Something a bit different.
Like some of the projects where makers have contributed different things.
Oh yeah, a collaborative effort.
Yeah, that would be quite good.
Yeah.
Leona says, question, how can I get people to give me free stuff?
Well, it's the $1 million question, isn't it?
It is.
Well, can I just say something there? Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing your social media.
Yeah.
Keep your name and your face out there.
And also, if you need something, ask.
Yeah, Leona, of all people, if she turned around and said, my workshops have just burned down, help, I'm pretty certain, and myself included, there'd be a flood of people just going, what do you need?
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes you just got to put it out there as well and ask for help or support. Well, it's been really great chatting with you and finding out a bit more about what you're doing. It's fascinating sort of how you work and the projects you've got on the go, and I can't wait to see some of this new stuff that's coming down the line.
I wish I could tell you about more of it. But...
well,
I'll tell you what, we could come back on later on when you've got stuff a bit further down and you can tell us, and we can talk about it again.
Definitely. When these things have come to fruition, you can come back on, Chris, and give us an update.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. We carry on now and sort of we chat amongst ourselves. You're very welcome to stay and just chip in.
Indeed.
Whatever you want to do. If you need to go, that's also fine. But yeah, it's been really nice talking to you, and thank you for being part of Maker Monday.
Yes,
I shall stick around for 15 minutes or so, but I've got a daughter, a little toddler, who's currently throwing a lot of tantrums, who's going to need to go to bed in a bit. So I'll love you and leave you in a little bit, but linger around for now, if that's all right.
Well, that's fine.
Cool.
That's fine.
Well, thanks for being an amazing guest.
Yeah, thank you very much.
My
There's
pleasure.
a little button at the bottom that just says Leave Studio. If you just click on that when you're ready to go, it will take you out of the live.
Cheers.
But thank you so much. So, well, first of all, before we actually chat about what we've been doing over the last week, if anybody wants to gate crash at the end of the podcast, bear that in mind. Yes. Because we will be putting out the call to gate crash if you would like. So, the first thing I think we should talk about is our anniversary.
Yes, we shall. Nicola and I, on the 20th of September, celebrated our first wedding anniversary. So we'd just like to say thank you to everyone that got in touch and gave us lovely messages and cards and things. Really, really, really kind of you all. But what Nicola's going to show you now is something that you had commissioned.
Yeah, I saw something similar on Instagram, and I just thought, oh, that's a great idea. So I contacted the Blue Light Turner, creating shavings since 2016. And let me just get.
Don't need to hold it.
I'm just trying to get the text. Hopefully you can see that.
Do you need this light? Shall I?
Oh, that's...
Hey, blind guy in the house.
It's a really nice piece of yew. It's got quite a heft to it, and it's got the date of our wedding and Chris and Nicola on the top. But yeah, it's got it's up here at the minute, but we keep it on the sideboard in the lounge, and it's absolutely beautiful. And the pyro, it's all been pyroed there as well. I love the font, and it's tactile for Chris.
Yeah, it's got some decent heft to the bowl. I love the shape, and obviously the pyro is tactile, so I can use my finger and read what it says. So thank you so very much. It's absolutely amazing. Nicola's laughing now. So why are you laughing?
Scott's just said, "Breathe, Chris." But yeah, Scott, we love it. Thank you so much.
Cheers. It's a wonderful piece that is gonna be with us until we are pushing up the daisies. You know, we've not yet decided whether or not we're going to have a barbecue or a soil throwing everyone with pop our clogs, but we're keeping it till then.
I'm having a barbecue.
All right, I fancy a soil throwing.
No.
Yeah, and I want my grave to have a tombstone that's quite gothic and a pair of zombie arms casting resin coming out of the grass. That'll be I want my grave to be a homage to Halloween. So I want a soil throwing.
Anyway, we've got lots more congratulations.
Thank you all very much. It has been
Dave G, Maple Tree, Brett, Flaming Turner,
thanks,
Leona.
guys. It's been an amazing year. It has.
Yeah.
Very busy year.
It has.
And that's why, we got away for those 3 days a fortnight ago. That was the reason for one of the pre-recorded. Obviously, we're quite a bit circumspect about, giving sort of like details about when we're going on holiday, just for security. You don't want to broadcast it, do you?
No.
But yeah, we went away and had a lovely 3 days in the countryside.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Yeah, a place we love. So thank you also very much. Special thanks to Scott, the Blue Light Turner, making shavings since 2016. And it is a wonderful piece that will be cherished forever. Cheers, man.
Mm-hmm. And also for our anniversary, we went up to the tea room, didn't we? And we had afternoon tea.
We had afternoon tea.
At our favourite tea room up the road. So that was nice, because when we got married, we had an afternoon tea for the sort of reception bit, didn't we?
The wedding breakfast.
The wedding breakfast, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I can hardly remember it. And I just thought it'd be quite nice to go and have an afternoon tea that we could sort of actually enjoy eating a bit more.
And it was a glorious afternoon tea last week.
Yeah.
And you always get so much food that you end up bringing.
Yeah, we brought some home, didn't we? Cakes.
Yeah, cakes, some cakes that were left over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the anniversary part taken care of.
Yep.
So what else have we done?
We went to Buxton at the weekend and had an afternoon there.
Yes, and we popped back into our favourite little. Should we give them a shout out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Biggin Hall Hotel.
Biggin Hall Hotel in the village of Biggin,
Yeah.
and it's an old country manor house that's been turned into a hotel, restaurant, and it's from the 17th century. 1672 is the date on the fireplace, big real stone fireplace. So we went and we were there again on Saturday, and we called in for a sandwich. We had Charlie with us.
Yeah.
It was a lovely day Saturday. There was a big antiques fair on and stuff like that on Saturday in Buxton. But
we didn't go into that.
No, it was heaving.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a nice day. And then Sunday, I was turning.
Yeah.
So Horton Tower, the castle up the road, where Sirloin came into existence,
and where we got married.
They've just had a new gift shop and ticket office made. So they've stopped my stuff for a bit, but now with this redesigned gift shop, they're after going a bit more upmarket with the stuff they're going to sell in the gift shop. Stuff that's more bespoke. So, and we had a meeting with them, and they're keen to still keep the association going with us. So, with it being basically it's our own version of Hogwarts, just up the road. So they've said, oh yeah, magic wands are a must. So I know there's quite a few of you out there making magic wands at the minute. So I've been turning magic wands for the past couple of days. Phil Lewis, who's a store manager for Axminster, who now heads up the Devon store.
Yeah, you probably can't see it, but it's on that top shelf. I don't think you'll be able to see much of it.
I don't want to show it that much because it's a gift for someone.
Yeah, you
so
can't really see
I've just made a magic wand for Phil, so that was a commission. And then I've done 2 magic wands today for Horton Tower. The first 2 have probably, I don't know, 6 or 8, something like that, just to start the stock going. So that's good about Horton Tower. So yeah, it's technically a fortified medieval manor, but it is a huge manor house. It is a castle, really.
It's up on a hill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the top of a hill, and Shakespeare stayed there, didn't he?
Yeah.
James the First.
Yeah.
Charles Dickens.
Royal family.
The current royal family have been there and planted trees. So I know you've heard us talk about this, but it's still the Horton family still own it. So you've got Sir Bernard, who's Lord de Horton, and Lady Francesca. So it's cool. It's cool to have an association with such an epic place like that. And when you tell people, oh yeah, that's where James I knighted the loin of beef and it became sirloin, they go, no, I'm not having that. It's the truth. So yeah, for those of you that are right now saying, don't believe that, it's true. James I, our wedding table was the table that James I did it at. He knighted the loin of beef there and it became sirloin.
Dave G says he thought it was a theme park.
Alton Towers. Yeah. He can't beat the classics, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to love you and leave you guys, by the way, because
Thank you so much.
Chris, thank you.
Thank you. weekend. Have a good night, all.
You
Night.
too.
Cheers, man.
Bye. And just to give, we're fully on there.
Fully on.
Just to give the Bridgewater Hall a shout out as well. We went last week, didn't we? And they were epic. We got to the door where the security guys are, because they check all your bags and everything. And he said, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Fisher." And I'm like, whoa. Yeah.
They were on the game.
They were really on the game. So they knew who we were. They were expecting Bamba. And then when we went up to get to our seats, there was a lady who was checking tickets and telling you where your seat was. And she got a mat for Bamba to lie on. She got a water bowl. And she knew who we were as well. Really, really good. I just thought the way they looked after us was epic. It's not very often you go somewhere and you get such good kind of proactive attention like that. It just felt really nice as well. It was a great reception we received from it was
them. And they really did look after us. And it's home of the famous Halle Orchestra. Bridgewater Hall. Ooh.
So is there anything else you wanted to chat about?
Well, where are we going on Wednesday?
Oh, right,
yes. My demonstrations are continuing at a pace. So this Wednesday we are off to Shropshire. Wood turning demonstration on Wednesday evening. So we're going to travel down just after lunchtime. So there'll be someone there from 6:30 p.m. Did you say?
Yeah, 6:30.
To let us gain entry to the venue. So it'll be a demonstration in Shropshire Wednesday evening, and then we'll do that, get it finished, and then boom, straight back home. And then on Thursday, I'm not going to unpack anything, but I'm just going to regroup, because on Friday we drive down to Cardiff for Axminster's Cardiff store. So there's a demonstration there. So I've got two decent demos this week. Which is very good. Looking forward to them.
Tomorrow I'm going out doing some photography.
Oh yeah, you're going to tell people about your new purchase? No, it's not really a purchase.
No, it's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade.
I'm on the Apple upgrade program. So I've just upgraded my phone to the purple iPhone 11, and I absolutely love it.
You said it was lilac.
Well, yeah, it's called. I think they call it purple, but it looks very lilac to me. So it's got two cameras on, so it's got a wide angle and a normal lens.
Charlie's ordered. Charlie's bought the 11 Pro Max, which has got 3 cameras on it.
Yeah, telephoto.
But Charlie goes to New York in just under 2 weeks. He's spending a week in New York, so he's getting quite big into his photography now, isn't he?
Yeah,
and he's doing some great, stuff. He's got a Nikon DSLR that he's using for all his aviation stuff. So yeah, Charlie's bought the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So tell people more about your phone. What are the things that really sort of like stand out on it and you really love about it?
Well, it's got facial recognition, so I can just look at it and it'll unlock. I think the screen, the clarity on the screen is much better. The photographs I've taken are much better.
You said they were absolutely crystal clear.
Well, they are. Yeah, they are. What else?
The sound quality was amazing.
Yeah, the sound seems to come through the screen. Dave G. Oh, I thought you'd got something, Dave. Dave's got the 11 Pro Max, because you've got the I don't know what they call it. You know, the emoji of your face. That was really cool. Yeah, I've made a Nicola emoji. But what was really cool when I was just fiddling with it today, if you actually have your screen and you look at the screen, it mirrors what you're doing. So if you blink, it blinks. If you smile, it smiles. That was really freaky. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I'm just waiting for a case coming. So yeah, but I do love it. So yeah, that's
Happy
my
days.
new toy. So tomorrow I'm going to taking photographs. I'm going to a church in Heysham.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I was going to go into Bolton.
What's the weather forecast for tomorrow?
I don't know. But Bolton's only open for a couple of hours, and so I thought I'll go somewhere else. I'm going to Heysham. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Well, that's cool because I'm busy. I have to tidy the workshop tomorrow and put everything back in its place before I pack.
Yeah,
it's a weird system, but it's how I've got to do it. So yeah, I've got to tidy the workshop, put everything back, and have a hoover up, and then get everything out again and pack it up in toolboxes and stuff. I know, scary in my world, but yeah, I have to do that, and you guys know why I have to do that. But yeah, so you can get out of Dodge, can't you?
Yeah,
for a good few hours.
Yeah,
and even if the weather's a bit inclement, you can, if you're going in a church.
Yeah, it should be all right.
It's all right, isn't it?
So,
ping. So yes, Shropshire on Wednesday, Cardiff on Friday, Saturday, and then that's pretty good then. And then we're squared away. Are we doing a live next Monday?
It's Sophie Lewis.
Oh right, yeah.
Monday.
Oh cool. So
yeah, we've got Sophie on.
Sophie, yeah, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
So, are you ready to do the gate crasher?
Yeah, someone coming on.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, someone's going to gate crash. Oh, this is exciting. I don't like getting excited.
Well, you don't know who it is yet.
No,
I do. Huh. Yeah, Dave, I thought it was you. I can't see my phone, so it just popped up. So, are you still there, Mr. Gatecrasher?
Mr. Right, so it's a Mr.
Yeah, it's a Mr. I hope he's still here. Anyway, just talk amongst yourselves.
Well, this is interesting. We're going to have a Gatecrasher. That's a no-show. Come on, Gatecrasher.
Yeah.
Where are you? Did you send them the link?
Yeah.
Did they acknowledge that?
Not yet, no.
All right, okay.
So, yeah, it'd be good to catch up with Sophie. We've not really spoken to Sophie since Makers Central. Yeah. So
I did speak to her on the phone one day regarding something, but I can't remember. Nicola's typing away here. She's up to something. So what happened then?
I'm just asking a question. So what else have we got on?
Well, we've got lots of stuff to make for Horse and Tower, not just ones. You've given the website a rehash, haven't you?
Oh, here he comes. Yeah, I've nearly done the website. I'm just typing away here.
She's up to something.
Hello.
Hello.
We've got the back.
Well, we've got lots of stuff to make for Horse and Tower, not just ones.
Hold on a sec.
I'm just going to mute you for a minute. I'll come back to you because there's a bit of feedback on you. So, so what were we saying?
Can't remember now, but I know who it is. He said Steve then, and I just caught a little bit of his voice. So
I can't remember what we were saying now. I lost the plot. Okay, let's unmute him and see if that's better. Hello.
All right, how are you?
You all right, love?
Mr. Gay. Hey, you've got a bald spot.
Oh, shut up, you!
Well, you can't have hair and brain. So they say.
He just tipped his head down.
Oh, that's right mean, that is.
It just came out. I'm sorry.
I was just about to say long time no see, but I've never seen you.
I've seen you, pal.
You're still having the nightmares.
Yeah.
Steve,
How
what
are you anyway?
do? Tell us.
Sorry?
What have you been up to?
Lots. I'm working on the creator van at the moment,
Oh, right, cool.
which is my new venture. Hopefully, that will be coming very soon.
Yeah.
So I've been working on that. I've bought. Most people know in the community, but I've because they've helped me do it. But I bought a 1992 18-foot 6-berth caravan.
Classic.
And I've completely gutted and stripped the inside out, and I am now slowly converting it into a mobile workshop.
Right.
So that will now become, I've also set up a business name now, so I have a business name which is the Creator Van, and I'll be going around schools and youth clubs and men's sheds and all sorts with the van, and hopefully teaching different arts and crafts and skills and stuff. So that's my main goal.
Awesome.
So how's everybody supporting you? What sort of things do you need?
So, oh God, it's been amazing so far. There was a GoFundMe set up by Miss Leona Fay, and that paid pretty much, I think it was over halfway towards the caravan. And then I've got kind of it's not a backer, it's someone that's donated some funds to me that will then, once the business is up and running, will then be paid back to them. So it's kind of a loan, cough, cough, if you know what I mean. Like there's no rush, but pay it back when you can, that kind of arrangement. So that's got the caravan, and then there was an anonymous donation of a Record Power 14-inch bandsaw arrived on my doorstep and completely shocked me, which was amazing because that's a piece of kit that I really needed for processing all of the woods and stuff like that, and even for building the caravan. So that was donated. Wayne, the Bigfoot Crafts, he sent me a box of goodies the other day, which was fantastic. And lots of other people have been kind of sending bits and pieces and sharing and donating and all sorts. So it's been a brilliant support from the community to get me up and running, which is fantastic. Yeah.
No, not yet. So have you got, is there a Facebook page and stuff like that?
Yeah, so there's the Creator Van Facebook page.
Right.
And there is Steve Woodturner with Steve Twidell Patreon page now, so that's been set up.
Right.
So that's anything to do with the Patreon will be kind of supporting the Creator Van. But once it's up and running, I'm hoping to get it up and running soon, and then I can start bringing it to a couple of shows and things. I'd like to bring it over to the UK to a couple of shows and kind of use it to keep kids occupied while mums and dads are walking around the shows and things like that. It'd be a good way of kind of make a crash.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, crafty crash.
Yeah, crafty crash. Yeah. So that's what I'm aiming for.
When you get it over here, we're gonna gate crash it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You're always welcome.
Gate crash.
I'll make show you where the door is, Chris.
So, well, it seems it's all going to be posh. It's got to have auditory commands for me. Left a bit, right a bit, forward.
Well, that's the thing. what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to design it that it's wheelchair accessible, and that special needs are going to be able to use it as well, because obviously that's kind of my genre of work. So I want to make it as accessible to anybody that wants to use it, you know. So I will be giving you a call anyway, Chris, because for a few tips and things for the blind, some things that I could maybe put into it that would help the blind as well. So I'm going to be in touch with you when I start getting to the nitty gritty of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
At the moment, I'm trying to work out how I can either make the back of the caravan drop down for wheelchair accessible, or to make a wider door on it. It's quite a tight space for a wheelchair, but it should be workable somehow.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That sounds fab.
It does sound amazing. And with it being Steve, I've got all these weird, scary mental images now of, you know, of this sort of like James Bond, you know, Q that used to make all his gadgets. In my mind, I can see the caravan getting hauled around by Steve, and it's, you know, it's like, you know, I don't know, just it's an amazing gadget, you know, and it's like.
I wouldn't get too excited. My main goal eventually is to have a truck, and make a truck, which is like a big box truck, and maybe tow the caravan behind that as well. So it's like a double workshop or something like that. But it's expensive getting that kind of stuff set up and stuff. So I'm just going to work my way up with the caravan, get clients, get business, slowly work up that way, and then maybe the original idea was going to be to make a bus, which was a bus converted into a workshop, but no one insured such a thing, unfortunately.
Wow.
From the many insurance companies that I've been in touch with, once a bus, always a bus, apparently.
All right.
They don't like things like that being converted, or if you do, it's going to be stupid money each year. So, but you know, it's little hurdles. I'll get over them.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell us about the bank holiday weekend.
Which one?
The last one, I think it was.
Oh, the meet-up, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it went well. It was great. Yeah, lots of drink.
Well, it's all just a blur. That's why he said which one.
Which one? It's a blur.
Everything just merges into a cloud of Guinnessy fogginess.
Yeah, well, there's so many flipping shows and things going on. I was just at the WH Rates and Sons show. It's a shop here. It's in it's the other side of Donegal here in Ireland, and it was a great show. And there's demonstrations and stuff. So I was just at that this weekend. So I was kind of like, hold on, do they mean that, or do they mean the one before, or do they, I don't know where I am. So yeah.
I think it's
well, hopefully make a Central's happening next year. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It's, you know,
what's the going on that? We keep hearing people saying, oh, there's Maker Central 2020, and I can't find any information.
Yeah, Nick did a video. It's not actually on the title of the video. I can't remember which video it was. I think it was the one before last, where it was kind of a Wednesday waffle, but he did mention that there is going to be Maker Central 2020, but he's not sure whether it'll be July or August.
Oh, right, okay.
So he was kind of messing about with those dates, but he said they'll be letting people know. I think the quickest way to find out is that they have like a hub, a website now that you can join. It's like a club that you can join. I think there's like, you can join for free, and then you can do like a paid subscription as well. And I think it's on that. I think it's, if you look it up, I think it's Maker Central Hub or something like that.
Right.
They're putting all the information on that before they let everybody else know. So if you're a member of that, then you'll get the information first. Right. And I think you can sign up for different things as well. So might be worth people looking at that.
Yeah.
And keeping an eye on the website. I mean, I think you've got a team that keeps the website updated as well.
Cool. So, any other news that
Oh,
you
by the
have?
way, congratulations! I've not spoken to you since you've got your your letters after your name, Chris. I haven't spoken to you since. So congratulations on that, man.
No, cheers, mate.
Now you're a doctor at Woodturner.
Yeah, a doctor of Woodturner. No, thanks, man. It was a very interesting morning, the assessment, and yeah, I obviously just kept calm and did my best, and like I say, I did the assessment, the same assessment that a sighted Woodturner would do, and yeah, it paid off. So that was it was worth it. So yeah, it's nice to be the first ever blind RPT. So that's another string.
Yeah, no, that's a huge achievement. Well,
yeah. So thank you very much, Steve. And yeah, it's been it's just been manic for us, really. And yeah, sort of like get where you're coming from, what show, what week, what day. It's like, whoop, where are we? But funnily enough, next year we are going to say there's going to be a couple of weeks where we say, right, we're not working this week. We're going to book everything around.
Yeah.
Make a central week. Let's make that one of the weeks. When we find out, we'll block, so we can have make a central, and then we can have a week off then, and yeah, do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And come to Ireland.
Right, everybody, all right there,
Get your ass over here now, Chris, so that you can have a few pints of your Guinness with it.
I'll be drinking a bit of whiskey, and I'll be having a bit of boiled bacon and cabbage.
I think I've only ever been to once. I went to Dublin with work for a day, so I flew in and then flew out after my meeting, and I think that's the sum total of my visits to Ireland. So yeah, I believe there's
a lot more to see than an hour.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you'll have to try and get over to our meetup next year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, we had something on, and we had that collab with Joe Kirchman from Joe Makes, which had been in the pipeline since Makers Central #1, really. And as you know, the planets weren't aligned for us to get over to your muddy field, but.
Well, it wasn't a muddy field. It was a nice property.
It was actually far from it. It shocked both me and Leona. We both organised it. Leona booked the venue, and we just booked an Airbnb. We just it just said Airbnb, and I think it roomed 14 people. And they said that I could bring my caravan, no problem. If anyone added a tent, then there's an area you could put some tents, So we went along. And bugger me, when we got there was a full-size double garage workshop at the side of the house, which was absolutely perfect. So the doors rolled up, and it was actually a gym that they've converted it into. It was like a working gym. Just pushed all the equipment back, and I said, "Yeah, work away." Within 2 hours of us arriving there, and then showing us the property, the husband drove off, and he came back with a pickup loaded with oak and beech and big lumps of wood that he wasn't a turner or anything. He was just a farmer that owned the land, and he's got acres and acres of woodland where trees are constantly falling down, and they just burn it. My heart exploded when he said, "Oh, this is firewood," and he's got these huge, great full logs of oak and sycamore, and I think there was ash, and there was So, and then we said, "Oh, we'd love to be able to cut that up and bring some of that." He said, "No problem." Back again within an hour with a chainsaw for us to process it all and share it between us. Such a lovely family,
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So it was the dream spot. Yeah, the dream spot.
So you're going to use that again?
Yeah, so we've said that we're going to book it next year for sure. It's a bit of a drive. It's not Central Ireland, but it's a brilliant location. It's beautifully scenic. The drive out there is beautiful as well. So, I mean, for people that want to come along, they'll have more notice this time. It was very short notice the last time because it was the first one we'd done. It'll be a lot more notice. They'll have a lot more time to save a few pennies. And the more people that go, the cheaper it's going to be there to stay. because at the end of the day, we're booking the whole house.
Yeah.
And there's a certain amount for 14 heads or whatever. So if you've got 20 people there and you've got some of them staying in a caravan, you can just share the whole cost between those people.
Yeah.
And the more people go, the less it's going to cost for each person to stay there. So and it's brilliant. It had everything. A beautiful house, you know. I mean, the lady that owned it when we arrived, she had freshly made soup there for us and fresh Irish bread, and you know, really, really welcoming, lovely people.
Oh, it does sound really nice and lots of fun. So happy for you, Steve, that you had a great weekend, even though you can't remember what chuffing day it was.
Yeah, I can't remember. So it's all one big party here in Ireland, Chris.
Oh, I know. Well, I know on my mother's side, all my maternal grandmother and all my cousins and aunts and uncles are from Roscommon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Roscommon. So, yeah, on my mother's side, they're Irish, and on my dad's side, British/Danish. So, yeah, it's funny.
So you're an Irish Viking, is that it?
Irish Viking. Either way, you know, got lots of warrior blood in me.
So what are you doing in your workshop, Steve?
So I've got product savers being made just there on the 3D printer.
Oh, right. Is that what I can hear?
Yeah, so there's 4 product savers at a time get printed off on that. I'm doing a live in half an hour, is it? 9:30, I'm doing a live.
Right.
And I'm going to be doing something like this. Chris, I'm holding up some multi-axis turning, similar to, I'm not sure if you've ever had Barbara Dill's work described to you before. But it's multi-axis. The best way I could describe this piece is it looks kind of like an elongated spiral staircase.
All right, okay.
Where there's a bead cut between each step.
Right, okay.
So that's the best way I can describe that to you. And each step is kind of tear-shaped, I suppose, a wide tear shape and flat. Kind of, I suppose, oyster-shaped each step.
Right, okay, yeah.
And that's done on 4 axes. And the way you do it, you'd mark your 4 axes, both ends of your spindle. And on the headstock, you place on number 1, and on the tailstock, you place it on number 2. So you're just putting it off that 120-degree skew.
Yeah.
And you turn it right down to a center point until you've got a set, you know, till it's spinning, and you've cut right through the air down to a bead. And then you'd swap a headstock to 2, tailstock to 3, and you'd do the same process again.
Yeah.
And you'd work your way along, and you just cut in long codes, and you get off-centered, cool-looking art. If you can get Nicola to look up Barbara Dill on Instagram or Facebook, and she also has YouTube where she describes it really well. It'd probably be great for you. You'd be able to understand it, I'd say, Chris, if you listen to it. She goes through the whole process. It's a long video, I think, but she goes through all the different types of cuts and multi-axes that she's learned over the years. Yeah, it's just lovely art, and Nicola should be able to describe that to you. It's a really different side of wood turning, very artistic side. So I'm kind of experimenting with that tonight.
Cool.
I've got a big old lump of ash here.
Yeah,
I could hear it, but I wasn't sure if it was just feedback. But now you said it's a 3D printer, I can hear all these little beeps going on.
Yeah, the sound of the 3D printer kind of reminds you of the old dial-up computer systems or the fax machines that you used to hear when you phoned someone up. You'd hear this, It's kind of a very kind of a lighter tone of that kind of sound.
Yeah.
But 3D prints take a long time, so it's a good thing just to have running in the background when you're doing other stuff.
Yeah, quite a few people have them running during the night, don't they? I think so.
Fred's just asked, did you get an email from Dave Gunner about Dave G Designs about savers?
Product savers, yes, I did. I actually saw that today. Actually, I was going through my emails. I get a lot of emails, so I have to try and pick a day to catch up with them, and then kind of bunch them into their categories, and then work on them that way. So yeah, because my website's down at the moment, the provider kind of shut down on me, and I suppose it was partly my fault. I didn't kind of chase up on it because I was doing other stuff, but I want to build a new one anyway, because it's going to be the Creative Ann website, and I'm going to be doing it all from that.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
so yeah, if people do want it, they can just get in touch with me on the email.
Yeah. Facebook. Right then,
Yeah.
well, it's 5 to 9, so it's about time for us to go. It's really great to gatecraft with you, Steve.
Yes, it was.
It was lovely to be able to gate crash. Thank you.
And thanks for mentioning. We need to make a donation.
We will. We'll sort something out, but we'll have a look at what we can do.
Yeah. Sorry, Steve, for us.
Talking.
Sorry for us getting, to the party late on helping donate to your.
You're quite busy, Chris. Don't be worried about it. And it's a good thing that you're busy. I'm delighted for you.
Yeah.
Couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yeah. Thank you. Stop it now. You're killing me. Right. So. Yeah. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you too, Chris.
Cheers, man. Not really our birthdays. We just play it all the time for each other. So yeah, listen. Have a wonderful. I am going to listen to your. I won't get a chance tonight because I've got some stuff to do. But I am going to listen to this live episode of you doing this off centre shenanigans, and
Cool.
have a wonderful show, mate. We will get something sent over to you to help get the caravan a bit closer to getting finished. So yeah, with that being said, love you all, man. Take it easy, keep on turning.
Yeah, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Thanks a million for having me on.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
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 Bye. So.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. So there you go.
Really.
That's it. Well, that was amazing. Gatecrasher.
I like the gatecrasher thing.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Yeah, it is fun.
So if you've not gatecrashed but you'd really like to, every time we do a podcast, we'll do the gatecrash right at the end. I just put the link in the chat, and then whoever said that they would like to gatecrash can do so.
Yes.
So we will be in Cardiff on Saturday. I think we might see a few of you there. So look forward to catching up. And
yes, if you're in that neck of the woods, Axminster, Cardiff, Saturday morning,
10 till 4.
10 till 4. It's the demo time, but we're there before that, just getting our head in the game. So yeah, if you can make it, please come along. To everyone that's listened tonight, thank you so very much. Love you all dearly, you know that.
Thanks everybody in the chat for all your comments and for being here with us.
We couldn't do it without you.
But it's a bit boring, isn't it, just on our own? I spend all my time kind of looking over to where the chat is and realising there's nothing there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's much better to do it with friends. Isn't it?
Yeah,
so, it's much better. So we shall bid you all good night. I'm going to take B-Dog out now for a toilet trip.
Yeah.
And with that being said, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell button if you haven't already, and keep on turning, keep on making. Good night, everybody.
Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks a lot. Bye.